I'm French, and today I want to show you French-speaking scenes in movies and TV shows and react to how well they did. So sometimes these scenes can be really bad and almost funny because they don't always cast people who can actually speak French. But other time it works perfectly and it can add a lot to the story, like in our first scene that's from the movie Inglourious Basterds.
Alors, comment se fait-il que le jeune soldat et vous ayez fait connaissance?
Alright, so here we have Christoph Watlz, who plays an Austrian Nazi officer who is hunting down Jewish people in Nazi-occupied France.
Donc, mademoiselle, vous commenciez à expliquer?
Il y a encore 2 jours, j'ignorais l'existence du soldat isoleur et de ses exploits.
And the actress here is Mélanie Laurent, and she's a native French speaker, which is obviously perfect for the story.
Ceci est une simple formalité. Aucune raison de vous inquiéter.
Wow, I love Christoph Waltz. Like, this whole scene makes total sense. It's fully believable to me that it's how a Nazi officer who is bilingual in French would speak. Obviously, he has an Austrian accent when he speaks French, but that makes total sense for the story. And also, if you didn't know about it, Christoph Waltz is actually Austrian and he's fluent in French. So I'm gonna rate this scene a 10 out of 10 because I'm not just ranking people's level of French, but how believable it is for the scene itself. And Christoph Waltz won so many awards for this role, which I feel he really deserves. In my opinion, Inglourious Basterds is how you make a good multilingual movie because every accent or language advances the plot. Even that very funny Brad Pitt scene.
Lo pronuncio correttamente?
Sì, corretto.
Gorlami? Per cortesia, me lo ripeti ancora.
Gorlami.
So yeah, I'm sure you can hear it. His Italian accent is so bad, but it's part of the plot because he plays someone who fakes being Italian. So it's funny, but it's on purpose. And while we're speaking of Brad Pitt, let's watch our next French scene, which is unfortunately not as good. So this is the movie Allied. It's about 2 spies who fall in love on an undercover mission where they try to assassinate a German ambassador in Morocco during World War II.
Retourne-toi et souris, le Québécois.
So here we have Marion Cotillard, who plays a French resistance fighter. Marion Cotillard is actually French, so this is a great casting choice. And then we have Brad Pitt's character, who is supposed to fake being a native Quebec French speaker for his cover. So let's see how he does.
Ça va?
Alright, so I don't know if you're hearing it, but I am not really buying it. To me, he sounds like a fluent American French speaker, so he has an American accent, not a Quebec accent. And what's so funny to me is that all the characters treat him like he speaks perfect French, when in real life he would have been arrested instantly because no one can believe he's from Quebec. Apparently he worked with Marion Cotillard for his French accent. And you know, this movie is a bit of a over-the-top spy movie, so it's not something that's really close to real life, so I'm willing to let it go because I feel Brad Pitt is fluent enough for non-French speakers to believe he's from Quebec or a fluent French speaker, especially since you'll see there are way worse performances later. So let me know what you think. Are you buying that Brad Pitt is from Quebec? On my side, not really. So I'm gonna give this one a 6 out of 10. Alright, so our next movie is the beloved Christmas classic Home Alone. So we have the whole family that travels to Paris but forgets Kevin in Chicago. And you probably already know this scene.
You're what the French call les incompétents.
What?
So this is actually a grammar mistake. You wouldn't call him les incompétents, but un incompétent, because he is alone. But it's fine, in the context of the movies, it's just 2 kids speaking, so it's normal that she would make that mistake. She probably heard it at school. However, we do have a scene that is a dead giveaway that they are not in Paris at all. It is this one where they are trying to call home from apparently a Paris airport, so let's watch it.
I have to use the phone, please.
Madame, que faites-vous?
I'm sorry, it's an emergency. We really have to make a call.
Mais que se passe-t-il?
Please, our brother's home alone.
Rendez-moi le téléphone.
Excuse me, just give us the phone.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry, but thank you. Peter, I'm gonna call the police.
Oh my god, I love this scene. To a French person, this is so obvious that this is not France. And actually a fun fact about Home Alone is that they didn't shoot a single scene in France. The airport is O'Hare and all the Paris scenes are stock footage. So my guess is that they just took a random actress and told her to speak French because her French sounds like she has learned a few sentences in French, but that's all. So here you can tell that being culturally accurate was not a priority for them. So I'm gonna have to rate this scene a 3 out of 10. It's not believable at all to me. but it is totally fine in the context of that movie because it's a Christmas movie aimed at an American audience, and French people were gonna watch the dubbed version of the movie anyways. With that said, I want to say that I'm not judging the actress that plays the French lady, and I have to be fully honest with you here. I was once randomly casted as an Italian character in a big budget Indian movie, so that's me here, and also here, and also here, and all the actors are super famous in India, so it was really cool to be on set. And what happened is that I was spending the summer in Kolkata in college, and we were approached by a casting director who was specifically looking for Italian people, and he couldn't find any, so he settled for us. And you know, I just went along with it because it was my first time on a movie set, and it was really cool. So I totally understand wanting to be in a movie, even if it's not culturally accurate. However, you can still do an amazing job of showing different cultures, even when it's not a big part of the story, and that's what our next clip is all about. And before I show you my favorite French scene in a movie, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, ZocDoc. So recently I've been traveling to the US, and it's made me think more about my health, mainly because unlike in France, healthcare depends a lot on private insurance. And I wish I had known about ZocDoc back when I lived in the US, because they make booking a doctor appointment so much easier. So ZocDoc is a completely free website where you can search and compare high-quality doctors who take your insurance across nearly every specialty. With ZocDoc, you can book in-network appointments with over 100,000 healthcare providers, and you can filter by insurance, location, your medical needs, and reviews from real patients. You just type in what kind of doctor you're looking for, compare different options, and instantly book an appointment online in a few clicks. Appointments usually happen fast, within 24 to 72 hours of booking, so if you've been putting off that doctor appointment, you should go ahead and click the link in the description. It's ZocDoc.com/Lucille. So thanks again to ZocDoc for sponsoring. Let's get back to the video. So this is Peaky Blinders, and if you've not watched the show, you just need to know that it's about a gang, and it's set in post-World War I England. So here we have Cillian Murphy. He plays the leader of the gang, and at some point in season 6, he goes to Saint-Pierre-et-Miquelon, which is a French island that's right here next to Canada, and that's where this scene is set.
Je m'appelle Thomas Shelby, j'ai réservé une salle de réunion.
Ouais. Hier soir, des ivrognes ont brisé mes fenêtres. Les pigeons sont rentrés à l'intérieur de la pièce et ma femme est en train de les faire sortir.
Je suis un enfant, je suis entré.
Alright, so this scene is so good. It's so believable to me that Cillian Murphy is a Brit who speaks French. And a fun fact about Cillian Murphy is that his mother was a French teacher, so apparently he rehearsed with her for that scene. And you can really tell that they put so much effort in that scene, you know, especially since they hired a good French actor for the small background role. I can't see anything because the show is very dark, but apparently this guy is Assad Bouab, who was in one of my favorite French TV shows called Call My Agent. But honestly, a lot of movies and TV shows don't even bother hiring actors from the right nationality. And that's even for major roles. And here we need to watch a scene from the TV show The Boys, which was so bad in that matter that it inspired this whole video.
Qu'est-ce qui s'est passé?
So, as you can probably tell, no one really spoke French there. In particular, the main character, who is supposed to be French and is literally called Frenchie. Like, you know, points for trying, the actors are doing their best, but it's not convincing at all.
Les tests sont bloqués. Qu'est-ce que t'as fait, bordel?
On a été payé pour trafiquer les soupes! OK?
Oh my god.
Mais elle a perdu la boule! Il a blessé Louis.
So after watching this, I can confidently say that no native French speaker has ever set foot on the set of this TV show. And the producers know about it. Like, when the writer of the show is quoted saying, "I'm thanking the French public for their patience with Frenchie's accent," you know it's bad. So I'm gonna give it a 1 out of 10, because it's really bad. But also, it's not cool from the writer to throw the actors under the bus, because the thing that's bad is the writing. Like, it's just basic Google Translate, which unfortunately is how foreign scenes are often written in movies, and that's kind of my pet peeve. If you're making a multi-language film, you need to have people who understand the language on the team, or at least hire them to consult on the movie. And this is what happened with our next French scene, which is from The Simpsons. So let's watch it, and I'll tell you what I mean later.
Mais je parle français maintenant. Incroyable! Et monsieur, aidez-moi. Ces deux types nous font travailler jour et nuit. Ils ne me donnent pas à manger. Ils nous font dormir par terre. Ils mettent antifreeze dans le vin. Et ils ont donné mon chapeau rouge à l'un.
De l'antifreeze dans le vin? Ah, mais c'est sérieux ça. Viens avec moi, fiston. Tu n'as plus rien à craindre.
Oh my god, I love this scene. Obviously they're making fun of France, but they're doing it the right way because they actually hired an accent coach. So it's someone who specializes in French pronunciation for movies. And the voice actress who plays Bart said she doesn't speak a word of French and she only worked phonetically, so just reproducing the sounds. And she only tried to copy the sounds of French, and it actually sounds pretty convincing. Also, it does help that the voice actor who plays the policeman is actually French. They went the extra mile to make fun of France the right way. So I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. And did you know that another way you can have good French scenes in movies is by hiring real French actors? This might sound groundbreaking, but it is what they did in the movie The Matrix with the character of the Merovingian. So here he is, the stereotypical philosophical and snobbish villain, but he is actually played with a lot of nuance by an amazing French actor, Lambert Wilson.
Wine. I love French wine. Like I love the French language. I have sampled every language. French is my favorite. Fantastic language.
So obviously, since the actor is French, his French accent is really good and not stereotypical at all, which is so refreshing to me.
Especially to curse with. Nom de Dieu, de putain de bordel de merde de saloperie de connard d'enculé de ta mère.
So here, this is French cursing done perfectly in the most native way possible. I think pretty much all French people found this scene funny and not offensive at all, but obviously I would not be saying what he's saying in a formal setting. What I love about this scene is that Lambert Wilson writes his insults himself. So they are really perfect and it seems he got full creative control. In any case, this scene and character are perfect to me, so it's a 10 out of 10 as well. But if you want to see a bad French accent in a movie, you have to watch the next scene with me. So this is in the movie The King, and it's about the King Henry V of England, played by Timothée Chalamet, who, as you know, if you've watched this video I made, speaks perfect French.
Je ne parlerai plus français. Nous devons parler anglais.
Je ne parle pas l'anglais.
Vous l'apprendrez.
So here the actress is Lily Rose Depp, and she's the daughter of Johnny Depp and Vanessa Paradis, so she's also half French. So this scene is a perfect bilingual scene in my opinion. And I personally remember watching this movie and enjoying it until Robert Pattinson arrived and ruined it for me.
I have not come to offer you surrender. If that is what you're hoping.
Oh my god.
I have come to describe for you.
It's so bad.
Your end days.
Okay, I can't watch it anymore because it's that bad. I feel bad for saying this because I respect Robert Pattinson as an actor, but to my ears, he sounds very much like Pepe Le Pew.
I am Pepe Le Pew, your lover.
And I know that since Twilight, Robert Pattinson has been taking more intense and serious roles, but to me, this type of bad accent is only okay in movies that don't take themselves seriously, like The Pink Panther, for example.
I would like to buy a hamburger.
I would like to buy a hamburger.
So I'm gonna give the scene with Timothée Chalamet and Lily Rose Depp a 10 out of 10, but I'll have to give a 1 out of 10 to the one with Robert Pattinson. It's so bad. I could make a whole video about bad French accents in movies, but just consider this my official request. If a character is supposed to be from a country and it's a big role, please just hire an actor who can speak the language. And even if the scene is not important, it can sometimes do more harm than good, like in our next clip from the TV show Bridgerton.
Ma mère était française, vous savez. Et je ne suis pas bannée par votre numéro. Je n'aimerais pas que le Notre-Dame de Bonton soit reconnu.
So here we have to agree that the production did the actress dirty. They could have just hired a dialect coach for a few hours to teach her to have a better French pronunciation. So I'm gonna give this scene a 3 out of 10. I feel the production here is to blame, not the actress. But anyway, for foreign scenes, sometimes it's better not to try to be serious at all. So let me show you a true masterpiece of French scenes in American TV shows.
Just repeat after me. Je m'appelle Claude.
Je découpe plow.
Always love this one.
Let's try it again.
Okay.
Je m'appelle Claude.
Je t'appelle Blue.
Anyways, this scene is so bad that it's good and it gets a 10 out of 10 from me. And I will have to end the video here. So if you like this video, you should watch one of these that are on screen right now. I'll see you there.